Yeah, we spoke about the work center in the previous session, and I had given a tasks to or assignment to research about the work center tables.
Yes.
Did you guys get a chance to look at it?
Yes, I was able to get 4 tables.
Mm-hmm. Those,
Yeah.
what are those tables? You go to SS16 and to see the tables. What are the table?
For header data, there is CRHT table.
Correct, CRST table. So if you go to CRST and try to execute it directly, okay, it says there are 117 entries, 170 work centers are there. So here is the work center number or work center identifications, right? Plant category, and then who has created it, and all that stuff will be there. You scroll right, you will might find a little bit more details like what is the uses, what's the responsible person, what's the standard value key, then what's the default values which you have maintained.
Hmm.
You will see setup machine labor, whatever formula you have maintained, that information also. Other formula also you'll be able to see it here. If you have maintained backslash indicator, if you have maintained, you will see it here. At the same time, if advanced planning is activated in the work center, you will be able to see that here as well. Okay. Now, what is the other table?
CRCA, Work Center Capacity Allocation.
CRCO, correct. So when you go to CRCO,
Sorry, I said capacity allocation.
CRCA, if you go to, there's a CRCA here, work center capacity allocations, and execute this table. So you go to see the, just give me a second. Sorry guys. Yeah, so if you execute this CRCA table, you want to see the object ID here, right? This is object ID number, then you have the work center capacity number, then you have the capacity ID, setup, machine processing formula, whatever you have maintained here, you can see that. But how do you link between these work center to this table? How would you link? Because there is no work center field available. How do
Hmm.
you do? What is that work center? How do you know that?
Routing.
No, not for routing. This is related to work center, right? So you must find, I mean, in your consulting career, you will find many of this kind of instances where direct reference to the table is missing. Direct reference is missing. So you must try to find alternate reference. What is that alternate reference? I have object ID here. So I have to search in some other table if some entries are matching. If it is matching, then that can be used as a reference, right? So when I go to this CRSD table, so in CRSD table, I have the field available for the work center name, right? What's the work center code or work center name? With the help of that, I can get the object ID here, and the same object ID I can link to the CRCA table. So that is one of the easiest way, and one of the kind of reference that you can build to find out the or to connect out tables. Okay, this issue is pretty common with Workcenter. Direct reference to Workcenter you will not find. Similarly, if you go to a routing, okay, routing table, for an example, I will go to PLQ table now. Oh, PLQ is the routing header table. PLPO table, let's go. Let me see, the task is type N. If I execute it, I have the routing details here, right? So I have, and at the same time, I have the operations, assembly, final acceptance, packing, whatever the operation text that we maintained, I am seeing that here. Now the point is, how do I identify in my routing from a table level? If you go to CA03, you might find it like what is the work center, but from a table level, what is my work center which is assigned to these operations? How do I know that? So there is no direct work center code you will find. What you have to do is, here you can see object ID, right? So you have to take this object ID and search in some other table if you are finding same object ID, or if you can link this object ID to that other table. Okay, so for an example, here I will do one thing.
Why do we have to link with other table to?
Together to extract the data. See, from the
Oh.
system perspective, here we have the routing and all, but sometime you might get clients requirement where you might have to create some custom object,
Mhm.
report, form or something, and for that you need the data. So you cannot tell to the ABAPer go to CA03 and
Oh,
pick it up, right? So you have to pick it
okay.
from tables, and you have to establish that link so that the ABAPer can pick the data.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my group number 50025. You can see that same four operations are there: casting, cleaning, printing, into asset, and here are by object ID. So if I take this object ID and now go to CRHD table, pass this object ID here. Okay, I'm passing it to the object ID. You should get the work center name. So from routing table, it is not directly possible to get the work center table, but take that object ID, pass it to CRSD, and get the
Mhm.
object ID, get the work center number here. That's one of the way you can explore out. Okay, easiest way I would say. From technical perspective, there is function module also available that we are going to talk in our future sessions, right? But for now, just understand this is one of the simplest way where you can combine multiple table or kind of establish a relationship and get the required data, right? Now let's take this work center which we had created in the previous sessions. Now we will take that object ID and go to CRCO to see the capacity details, right? Pass that object ID here. CRCO is basically assignment to work center, assignment of work center to cost center. Okay, so if I go to the work center and I open the costing tab here, you can see what is my cost center here. 10101301. These are the activity types. 3
Mm.
watt 11 zero water, and here are my formulas that I have mentioned. So you can see that here I'm seeing the same informations: my controlling area, my cost center, my activity types, and my formula. And you can see the unit of measurements also are populated here, and the reference indicator is also populated here, right? The same thing here, the reference indicators. Getting my point?
Yes.
So this is one of the way. Okay, now let's see the capacity informations, CRCA. Let's put that same object ID. So you can see now, if I go to the capacity tab, what formula I have maintained, 5, 6, 7 I have maintained, right? So the same thing here for set of 5, cross processing 6, for TO down 7, same information is updated here. Now inside that, if I double click on this capacity category, I am seeing a couple of more details like capacity responsible, factory calendar, based on the measurement, start time, end time, right?
Mm.
Those informations are not showing over here. Those are not shown here, right? So to get those informations, I can use this link from object ID. I can get this capacity ID link, and that capacity ID link I can pass to the capacity table. Okay, so let me search it here. You can search like this way. It's not showing. I think that was KKO or something. Capacity ID, let me pass. And if I execute it, there you go. The same informations which I have maintained, you can see that here. Against that capacity ID, it is starting from this. Here is your finish time, right? 8 o'clock, I mean 8 hour, right? So into this is primarily showing in the second formulas. Okay, so if you kind of multiply, 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. If you multiply 1 hour, let's do that. There you go. See, it is showing the same thing. You can double click on this item also directly. It will open in a more detailed mode, where you can see that it is starting by what time. It is starting by 28,800. So what is 28,800? That is primarily seconds, and that equal to 8 hour,
Okay.
because 1 hour is equal to 3600, right? Similarly,
Mm.
if you multiply by 18, it is 64,800. The same thing you can see that here, end by 64,800. So
Mm.
start with by 8 o'clock, end by 18 o'clock, right? Capacity category, factory calendar, all those informations which is maintained in here. See, responsible person, then you have this capacity category, then factory calendar, base unit of measure, and then start time, end time, all that informations you will see that here in this table. Getting my point?
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the way you can now Will you be able to create your own link if I give you a couple of tables?
Yes, we can try.
Yes or no?
Yes, we can try.
Okay, perfect.